Hello, what I'd like to do today is show you how to pipe on the cake. So this is a rye-ice cake that I've coated, and I've coated it twice and the board's coated as well. And I'd like to give you some examples. So this board has been decorated in one example of how you can decorate the cake. And we need to include scrolls, S scrolls, C scrolls and ropes. This one's got S and C scrolls, and this has got S and C scrolls as well. So I've got these examples to show you in class, different ways that you can put your scrolls on your cake. So I'm going to show you one way on this cake today. So first of all, I just need to tidy this cake up. Cover up my rye icing. There we go. I've got a damp cloth and I'm just going to take off this rye icing around the edge, just with the damp cloth. Being careful I don't damage the board. We don't want any water on this rye ice cake at all, as it will dissolve. It's a little less forgiving than sugar paste, and as soon as I get a spot of water on the cake, the icing sugar will start to dissolve and it will leave you with a hole. So very damp cloth, just tidying up the board. And it's really nice if you put a ribbon around the board as well, and you can attach that with double-sided sticky tape. The next thing I need to do is take off any ridges that might be prominent, so a little tidy up, just taking care that we need to keep that sharp edge. So I've got a little bit of rye icing there, and because you've got glycerine in the rye icing, you'll find this easy to do. The thing is not to go in deep when if you've got a lump of rye icing like that one, don't go in deep because you'll take the whole lot off. So just pare it away. And then that's that take off mark you need to get rid of. So smoothing that down. And then you can use your brush, your pastry brush, to take off any bits. Okay, making sure that brush is clean. I need a 43 tube, so I've got a 43 or a 44 depending on the size of the scrolls you want to do. It's quite a small cake, it's 6 inches, so I'd recommend a 43, it's a little bit smaller. And because that tube is a big tube, I need a large bag. Fill in the bag. Obviously not overfilling it. Ready to go. And that tube then, if I do have a little bit of paper at the end, so I can't see the tube, just take it off. There we go. And keeping all your bags under, you can see, a damp cloth, so the tubes don't dry out. So I've got a number 2, number 1, 43, and I've got number 3 there if I need it. Now, the first job I need to do with my number 2 is fill in any air bubbles. So I've got a couple of air bubbles, I've got one there. So I'll just pipe in rye icing, and then I'll just use my finger and smooth it off. So you need a good light to do this in. You might just need to move the cake around so you can see them. There. And that just covers up any imperfections, fills in any air bubbles. Okay. The next thing I need to do is divide the cake up. Oh, and so I've got some round greaseproof paper. And I can use one of these to help me. So this is 6-inch round greaseproof circle, and I can use that as a template. So I can use it as a template by first folding this in half, So that will help me divide the cake in half. But I actually want to divide it into 6. So just bringing in the sections until it's accurate. And then when I open it, I've got the fold lines to follow. And just pop a cutter on there to keep it still. Now when you're looking at your cake, you've always got a good part of the cake and a bad part of your cake. So you want to really, that's my take-off mark, which is not brilliant. But that's going at the back. So bear that in mind all the way through. So what I need to do now is just put a little dot of royal icing where that fold line is along the cake. Now you can divide it into 8 or 6. I think 4 would be too large a section for you to pipe your scrolls in. Take that off and you can see I've got some dots all the way around as a guideline. The other thing I'm going to do is just put a dot at the bottom. So I'm matching up the bottom pattern to the top pattern, and that's really important. So I'm using a large bag here, it's a 43, so it's in a large bag, and I'm holding it around like that. My thumb is stopping anything coming out. You have to do that to take the pressure off your thumb when you're piping. So start at the back of your cake, and I need to pipe my scroll. So the aim of this is not to show you how to pipe a scroll, because I've done videos on that before, but it's to show you where to pipe them. So I'm going to pipe it between my dots of royal icing. And you can see that it's on the edge of the cake, mainly on top, 2/3 on top, 1/3 on the side, but you can see it's covering the edge of the cake, and we do that because that's going to be the edge of cake's not always perfect. So that's an S scroll. I'm now going to tuck in to there a C scroll, so an S scroll and a C scroll. Now, I'm piping these quite quick because I've got quite a bit of experience piping scrolls. You can pipe them a lot slower than this, but when you do this, what you need to do is pipe one. Is it perfect? Take it off if it isn't, and replace it if it isn't. If it is, leave it. If it's fine, leave it. What you can't do is pipe all the way around and go, oh, I need to take that one off there, because if you do, then you need to take them all off. Okay, so like when you pipe your shells, you've got to look and be self-critical of each one you pipe to see if it needs to stay or does it go. And then over the top of that, with your 43, again, I'm scraping a line on. You can see I'm not lifting this line, and it's a base to your overpiping. So that is helping building up your scroll. And if you get in the flow of piping that lovely shape, you'll be fine. What I'm going to pipe around the bottom are ropes. So I can pipe it to the same size as the scroll, or I can divide it in half again. And you can see that that's being tucked in around the bottom of the cake. Now I can leave them as they are, or I can overpipe those. I'll leave them as they are. There we go. So with a number 2 tube, if you're using a 44 for your scrolls, which is a large tube, you need to pipe with the number 3 and then a 2. But I'm going, because this is a smaller scroll, I'm going with a number 2 on top. And can you see how I'm lifting this? And it's so easy when you do this that you anchor and you lift. And you can see I'm moving it around until I get it in the right position. If I'm not pleased with it, I'll lift it off again and place it on. And some people say, oh, I can't do this because my hands shake. Well, it's quite good when your hand shakes because you sometimes shake it straight. And then on top of this number 2, always and must have a number 1. You'd never leave a number 2 as it is. And that number 1 can be done in a colour to match your writing. If you need to do line work, you can do line work, perhaps around your ropes. Just a little away from it so it doesn't touch your rope. Number 2 and a number 1 in front of that number 2. And you can see, look how high I'm lifting the rail icing as I'm piping. And then a number 1 on top of that number 2, and again that can be in a colour. And if you want to, you can pipe micro dots coming down. Okay, thank you.